There comes a moment in every life, quiet and unnoticed by most, where the invisible currents of the universe align themselves in absolute obedience to your inner world. You may not see it with your physical eyes yet. You may not hear the whisper of it in the wind, but the universe, it has already moved. It has already rearranged itself. It has already begun to deliver. Not by chance, not by luck, but by law. A law as certain as gravity, as consistent as the rising sun. The law that responds without hesitation to the imaginal acts of man. The law that makes your desires inevitable the moment you claim them as yours. You see, the great tragedy is not that people desire, but that they desire while simultaneously doubting. They want, yet deny themselves by imagining failure. They pray, yet speak in contradiction with their words and their thoughts. But let me tell you, the universe does not respond to your words alone. It responds to your dominant state of being. It delivers without error what you dwell upon within. And when you understand this, when you finally see beyond the illusion of waiting, you realize the delivery has already begun. Everything you desire, everything is already in motion toward you, like the tide pulled by the moon. You may not see the full wave yet, but the ripple is here. The energy, the unseen substance of reality, has been commanded by the impressions you've placed upon your inner world. Your imagination is not idle fantasy. It is the architect, the divine blueprint, the silent command that instructs creation to move, and it moves. Oh, it moves. You must understand the universe is bound to fulfill your desires when you remain loyal to them in imagination. You are not required to beg, you are not required to plead, you are required to assume. To assume boldly, to assume with the confidence of one who knows the seed planted will bloom, regardless of the temporary barrenness of the soil. The unseen is the source of the seen, and your imaginal act is the cause. Cause precedes effect, always. And hear me well, when I say the universe is about to deliver everything you desire, I do not mean by some external force of generosity. I mean by the perfect outworking of the law you've set in motion. The outer world bends to the inner state. If you dwell in the state of your wish fulfilled, reality cannot help but mirror it. It is law. It is done. Your desires are not whims, they are signals, callings, messages from the deeper self, reminding you of what already belongs to you in potential. You do not chase the manifestation chases you when you hold unwaveringly to the assumption that you already possess it. That is the great secret. Most wander through life seeing only with physical eyes, and so they say, I'll believe it when I see it. But the universe, my friend, does not operate in reverse. You see it because you believed it. You touch it in the physical because you held it in the imaginal. The unseen precedes the seen. The inner precedes the outer. The outer precedes the outer. The universe is about to deliver because the universe has no choice when you live from the state of the wish fulfilled. The house, the love, the success, the freedom, it is already formed in the unseen. Time is only the interval of its unfolding. Your job is not to force or manipulate circumstances, but to maintain the state of fulfillment, of gratitude, of certainty. You are the operant power. You dictate reality, not through effort, but through assumption. There is no waiting room in the universe. You are either aligned with the having of your desire, or you are aligned with the absence of it. The delivery is always responding to your alignment, not your calendar. So dwell in the end, live in the assumption, feel the reality of your desire as though it were already complete, and you will see the universe bend in your favor. You see, desire is not lack. It is awareness of potential. You only desire that which already exists for you. You only long for what is already waiting in the invisible for your permission to manifest. And permission is granted the moment you dwell in the assumption of possession. It is done. It is finished. The universe, obedient and exact, has moved on your behalf. Everything you desire, everything is forming, aligning, converging in ways you cannot yet comprehend, but soon will, because you dared to believe, because you dared to imagine, because you dared to claim it as yours. It is easy to believe that your words alone hold the power to shift your world, that by speaking desires into the air, somehow things will rearrange themselves for your benefit. But that is not the root of creation. The universe does not respond to empty words or declarations made without feeling. It listens, but not with ears. It observes, but not with eyes. It perceives the vibration, the energy, the state of being you reside in, and that state is louder than anything your mouth could ever say. Your inner world, the realm of assumption, imagination, and belief, is the true speaker that instructs the universe. Most people go through life disconnected from this truth. They declare they want wealth, love, health, freedom, but beneath those words they entertain lack, fear, uncertainty. They speak of desires with their lips but deny them with the dominant state they occupy in silence. You cannot speak one thing and dwell in the opposite state and expect the universe to override the law of consciousness. It simply does not happen that way. The universe is not random, nor does it function on partial alignment. It is exact, perfect, unwavering in its obedience to your inner reality. You must understand, you are not merely a spectator of life. You are the operant power within your life. It is not the outer world that dictates what unfolds, but the inner world, the hidden theater of your mind, where imagination crafts reality. The world outside is simply the reflection, the echo, the delayed image of what you have accepted as true within. And so, when your inner world is saturated with doubt, fear, or contradiction, no matter how beautifully your words are framed, the universe can only mirror what is dominant, what is consistent, what is alive in your consciousness. This is why two people can speak the same words, yet one manifests with ease and the other struggles endlessly. It is not the sentence spoken, but the power behind it, the emotional acceptance, the state of belief carried within. Words without feeling are empty gestures, but words saturated with belief, with the conviction of inner knowing, command the universe because they flow from the correct state. If you want the universe to deliver your desires, and it will, you must first deliver yourself into the proper inner state. The state where the thing desired is no longer seen as distant, but as present, as yours, as inevitable. It is not about convincing others or even convincing the surface level of your mind. It is about dwelling persistently, quietly, and faithfully in the inner world, where what you want already exists. The universe recognizes this state as the command. It does not need reminders or constant repetition. It needs clarity, certainty, alignment. Imagine a gardener planting seeds. He does not return to the soil daily, uprooting the seed, questioning whether it is growing. He knows the process is sure that unseen forces beneath the soil are at work, bringing life from what appears empty. Your inner world functions the same way. Your assumption, your belief is the seed. The unseen field of consciousness is the soil, and the fruit, the manifestation, comes in its appointed time. But only when you remain loyal to the state of having, not yearning. But people sabotage themselves because they allow the physical world to contradict the inner vision. They look at the absence of results and abandon the state of fulfillment. They see delay and assume denial. But the universe does not deny. It reflects. It reflects your persistence, your inner conversations, your assumptions, and your emotional stance. So when you drift from the state of the wish fulfilled and dwell in doubt, lack, or frustration, the universe mirrors that too. Not out of punishment, but out of perfect obedience. This is the discipline of creation, to hold your inner state steady, unmoved by appearances, confident in the invisible process unfolding on your behalf. You must train yourself to respond not to circumstances, but to your assumptions. Circumstances will change. They are clay, not stone. But your state, if consistently occupied, becomes the mold that shapes reality itself. This is why your inner world is the true source of power. You cannot speak of abundance while entertaining poverty in your assumptions. You cannot declare love while imagining rejection. The dominant state always wins. And so, the universe listens to your being, not your begging. It observes the energy you saturate your consciousness with, not the fleeting declarations made without alignment. You have been given the gift of imagination, not as a toy, but as the mechanism of creation. What you dwell upon, what you assume, what you emotionally accept as real, impresses upon the infinite field of creation. And from that impression, life responds. Think of your inner world as a magnet. It does not attract what you momentarily wish for, but what you consistently embody. The state you live in radiates out, summoning experiences, people, opportunities, and circumstances that align with that frequency. This is why your words are secondary to your state. Words can lie, states cannot. The universe reads states, not scripts. You cannot fool the law of consciousness, but you can master it. When you live from the state of the wish fulfilled, the words you speak naturally align with that inner reality. There is no contradiction, no doubt hidden beneath the surface. Your being, your speech, your emotions, all harmonize, creating a powerful signal the universe cannot resist. Delivery becomes inevitable, not because you begged for it, but because you became it within. This is the essence of creation, the heart of the unseen law working on your behalf, and whether you understand it fully or not, it is happening now. Your inner state, your assumptions, your accepted beliefs, they are already crafting the world you walk through tomorrow. You are not a victim of external events, but the silent architect behind them. And once you grasp this, once you stop focusing on empty declarations and begin living from the inner conviction of your desires already fulfilled, the universe moves swiftly, accurately, unfailingly to reflect that state in the physical world. It listens to your being, it obeys your state, and when you align, when you dwell in the reality of your fulfilled desire, you will see without question that the universe is about to deliver everything you desire. Assumption is the secret most overlooked, yet it is the foundation upon which every manifested desire stands. You see, life is not about struggling to make things happen with force, nor is it about endlessly chasing after external outcomes, hoping they may one day appear. The true power rests not in what you do, but in what you assume to be true. The universe does not care about your effort in the conventional sense. It responds unwaveringly to the internal state you adopt. Assumption is not wishful thinking. It is a quiet, unwavering certainty that what you desire is already yours, whether or not the evidence has yet appeared in your physical surroundings. The great deception people fall into is believing they must wait for proof before they can believe. But the law of creation is inverted. It is belief that births proof, not the other way around. You assume, and reality follows. You dwell in the state of your fulfilled desire, and life conforms itself to match that state. But most hesitate. They play with assumption as if it were a fragile fantasy. And so their results waver like a flickering flame. You must not be timid with your assumptions. You must be bold, unwavering, and unapologetic in your inner knowing. To assume your desire is already fulfilled is not to pretend blindly or to deceive yourself with shallow affirmations. It is to anchor yourself so deeply in the feeling of having that desire that the absence of it in your physical world becomes irrelevant. You do not look around for signs of its arrival because your assumption has already made it real. You live from the end. You walk, speak, and feel as though the desire has manifested. And in doing so, you shift the very structure of your world to align with that inner conviction. Consider for a moment how naturally you assume unwanted states. Without resistance, you accept lack, struggle, and limitation as facts simply because they appear persistent. You assume negative outcomes with ease because the outer world has convinced you that what you see is final. But if you can assume hardship without effort, you can just as easily assume abundance, love, success, and joy with the same confidence. The process is identical. The only difference is where you choose to anchor your belief. You must understand, the universe is impartial. It does not judge your assumptions, it fulfills them. If you dwell in the state of being unloved, unnoticed, unsuccessful, it responds accordingly, not to punish, but to reflect your inner reality. Likewise, when you assume you are already loved, already abundant, already victorious, the universe organizes itself to reflect that too. The world bends to the state you inhabit, whether that state serves you or sabotages you. Who says you can't hurt it? And the question is not whether the law works. It always works. The question is, are you consciously assuming the states that align with your desires, or are you unconsciously drifting into assumptions that contradict them? The beauty of this truth is that you hold the power to decide. No one imposes assumptions upon you without your agreement. You are the master key. You unlock the states that become your lived experience. To assume boldly requires discipline, not strain. It means you deliberately saturate your mind with a feeling of fulfillment, even in the absence of physical proof. You train your senses to respond, not to circumstances, but to imagination. You elevate your inner world above the temporary shadows of the outer, and in doing so, you rewrite the script life must follow. It is easy to fall into the trap of observing delay and concluding the law has failed you. But delay is not denial. Delay is simply the time it takes for the physical world to catch up to the new state you occupy within. The seeds of your assumptions have been planted. The harvest is inevitable when you persist. But if you abandon your assumption because the fruit is not yet visible, you uproot the very process set in motion. You sabotage the delivery by oscillating between belief and doubt. That is why assumption must be steady, consistent, and fed by imagination rather than circumstance. You must imagine vividly, emotionally, repeatedly, until the assumption becomes so natural that to entertain its opposite feels absurd. You rehearse the feeling of having your desire so often that your inner world no longer distinguishes between imagination and reality, because in truth, they are one and the same. The universe does not deliver based on struggle, force, or endless action. It delivers based on your alignment with the state of fulfillment. Assumption is alignment. It is stepping into the version of yourself who already possesses what you seek. It is collapsing the gap between desire and possession within your consciousness, so that the outer world must bridge that gap in physical form. This is why assumption is the greatest act of faith. The unwavering decision to occupy the state of your wish fulfilled before the senses confirm it. It is not arrogance, it is alignment. You assume abundance, not because the world shows it to you yet, but because within you know abundance is your natural state. You assume love not because someone externally validates it yet, but because within you have already received it. And the moment your assumption becomes your dominant dwelling place, reality begins to bend, subtly at first, then unmistakably. Mission assumption requires nothing external to begin. You do not need approval, permission, or conditions to change before you step into the new state. You need only to claim it inwardly, to saturate your mind and emotions with its reality, and to refuse to be swayed by the temporary absence of outer proof. You become the version of yourself who has it now, and in doing so you call forth its inevitable arrival. There is no power greater than assumption when understood correctly. It is the mechanism by which invisible desires become tangible realities. It is the silent force moving mountains, opening doors, shifting timelines, and rewriting destinies. And the moment you grasp its simplicity, the moment you boldly step into the state of having, you liberate yourself from waiting, doubting, and striving. You align with the inevitable unfolding of your desire, and the universe, obedient as always, moves to deliver everything you desire. Desire is one of the most misunderstood forces in the world. People have been taught to see desire as a reflection of lack, as though to want something is to acknowledge its absence. But that is not the truth. The moment a desire arises within you, it is not pointing to what you don't have. It is revealing what already belongs to you in the unseen. Desire is the whisper of the deeper self, a signal from the infinite reminding you of what exists beyond the veil of your senses, waiting for your permission to enter this physical plane. You do not desire randomly. The universe is not chaotic, nor is your heart filled with wishes that can never be fulfilled. The very presence of your desire is proof that the reality of its fulfillment exists for you. You could not want something that was impossible for you to possess. The longing itself is evidence that the thing sought is already created in potential, stored in the infinite field of possibility, waiting for your alignment to bring it forth. Most people deny themselves because they misunderstand this. They feel a desire awaken within them, but instead of embracing it as a sign of what is meant for them, they judge it. They measure their current circumstances, their limitations, their doubts, and they conclude the desire is impossible. But it is not impossible. It is inevitable when you understand its origin. The desire is not born from your limitations. It is born from the greater, unseen part of you that knows no boundaries. It is born from the infinite within you that understands your power to create. When a desire awakens, it is the universe speaking through you, saying, "This is yours if you are willing to assume it." The mistake is to look at the current world, measure the distance between your present and your desired future, and allow that gap to create doubt. But the gap is only there because you observe it. In truth, your desire is already fulfilled in the unseen. Your job is not to bridge the gap with struggle, but to dissolve the gap through belief. Desire is not a problem to be solved, it is a direction to be followed. It is the map your inner being provides to lead you into alignment with your greater self. Every true desire is sacred. It carries within it the energy of its own fulfillment. You are not separate from the thing you desire. The desire itself is the proof of unity between you and the object of your longing. You only need to accept that unity inwardly. Imagine for a moment how effortlessly a child desires. They want, and in wanting they believe. They do not question the mechanics of how their desire will unfold. They assume it naturally. That pure, unwavering expectation is the reason so many of their desires manifest quickly. But as adults, people complicate desire. They filter it through logic, through fear, through limitation, and in doing so they create separation where none exists. But the universe does not measure your worthiness based on circumstances. It does not weigh your desires against the facts of your present reality. It operates beyond logic, beyond the senses. Your desire, when held in the state of fulfillment, sets in motion the unseen forces that organize reality in your favor. You do not have to beg for it, chase after it, or prove your worthiness. You only have to believe it already belongs to you. The beauty of desire is that it comes custom-made for you. Your desires are not identical to another's, and that is by divine design. What you want is unique to your path, your journey, your unfolding. And the reason the desire feels so alive within you is because it already exists in the unseen, tethered to your consciousness, waiting for your permission to express itself in physical form. But permission is granted through assumption, not resistance. You cannot desire something and simultaneously resist its arrival through doubt and contradiction. The universe reads your state, your belief, your inner acceptance, not your surface level declarations. So when you embrace your desire, when you see it not as distant, but as already accomplished in imagination, you collapse the time between longing and manifestation. You must stop seeing desire as weakness or as an acknowledgement of deficiency. It is neither. It is your higher self reminding you of your creative power. The presence of the desire means the fulfillment already exists. The only thing required of you is to align with it, to saturate your mind with the feeling of possession, to dwell in the assumption that the thing desired is already yours. When you understand this, you no longer resist your desires, you celebrate them, you nurture them, you realize they are sacred signals from the universe itself, guiding you toward your greater expression. You stop questioning the possibility of their fulfillment because you recognize the desire could not have entered your awareness unless the means of fulfillment already existed. And the more you dwell in this understanding, the more you realize that the world is not rigid or fixed. It is fluid, changeable, obedient to the inner states you occupy. Your desire is the first step in that change, the spark that awakens you to new potential. It invites you to shift your identity, to step into the version of yourself who already possesses what you seek. And when you accept that version, when you live from that state, reality bends to reflect your choice. Desire, properly understood, is not longing, it is claiming. It is the recognition that what you want already exists beyond the veil of the senses, and through sustained belief, it must materialize. You do not force it, nor do you chase it with anxiety. You align, you assume, you become. The deeper you dwell in the feeling of already having your desire, the more natural its arrival becomes. It no longer feels miraculous, it feels inevitable. You begin to see the evidence of your inner world reflected in the outer. Synchronicities, opportunities, people, and events align not because you forced them to, but because you finally permitted the desire to unfold by believing in its existence. Every desire you hold is an invitation to remember your power. It is not born from absence, it is born from abundance. It is not distant, it is near. It is not random, it is designed. Your only task is to assume it, to live in its fulfillment, to hold its reality within your imagination until life itself mirrors that vision. When you do, the universe has no choice but to deliver everything you desire. Most people live as prisoners of time, believing that what they desire is delayed by days, weeks, months, or even years. They measure their dreams by calendars and clocks, assuming that what they want will arrive only after a long, uncertain process. But time is not the master of your reality. The outer world does not delay you because of some cosmic schedule set in stone. What delays you is your alignment, your inner state, your decision to either dwell in the assumption of fulfillment or to dwell in the assumption of absence. The delivery of your desires is not governed by time, it is governed by alignment. It is easy to blame the world for its delays. People say, "I've waited so long and nothing has changed." But the truth is, waiting itself is a state of being that postpones the very thing you seek. When you say you are waiting, you are affirming lack. You are telling the universe it is not here yet, and the universe, ever obedient, reflects that state back to you. It gives you more of what you assume, more absence, more longing, more distance between you and your desire. But when you live from alignment, when you dwell in the state where your wish is already fulfilled, the concept of waiting dissolves entirely. You no longer walk through life as someone chasing their dreams, you walk through life as someone receiving them. Moment by moment, knowing the process is complete in the unseen and unfolding perfectly in the seen. You are not desperate, not anxious, not uncertain. You are aligned, certain, and unwavering, and from that alignment, the outer world has no choice but to reflect your state. This is why some people seem to manifest their desires quickly, effortlessly, even miraculously, while others strive endlessly with no results. The difference is not in luck or in circumstance. It is in alignment. The person who holds the inner state of already having their desire walks in harmony with their manifestation. Their thoughts, feelings, and assumptions all point in one direction: fulfillment. And so, the universe bends to their inner world with speed and precision. On the other hand, the person who dwells in doubt, fear, and contradiction may speak of their desire, but inwardly they live in the state of lack. They check the physical world for signs, they question the process, they allow appearances to dictate their belief, and in doing so they delay the delivery. The universe is not punishing them, it is simply reflecting their state of uncertainty. You must come to understand that the only true delay is self-imposed. There is no external force holding your desires at bay. The moment you align, the process accelerates, not because time has changed, but because your inner reality has shifted. The outer world must follow. It is law. The mirror cannot reflect what is not in front of it. Your life cannot reflect abundance, love, success, or joy if within you dwell in the state of absence. Alignment is not complicated, but it requires discipline. It means choosing moment by moment to embody the version of yourself who already possesses what you seek. It means speaking, thinking, and feeling from the state of fulfillment, even when the physical world has yet to catch up. You must master the art of ignoring temporary appearances and remaining loyal to the unseen reality you have assumed. This is why the wise understand that time is flexible, that delivery is not bound by dates or deadlines. The outer world moves in direct proportion to the inner world. When you shift within, the world must shift without. You collapse the illusion of time by collapsing the illusion of separation. When you no longer see your desire as distant, when you embody its presence within, the outer world bends to reflect that immediacy. And yet many fall into the trap of chasing signs. They look for confirmation in the outer world, they obsess over synchronicities, they measure progress by physical evidence. But signs are not causes, they are effects. They follow your inner alignment. To chase signs is to misunderstand your power. The true cause is your state of being, your assumption, your alignment with the reality you desire. When you dwell in alignment, signs appear naturally, effortlessly, without obsession. They are the ripples of the inner shift you have created, the echoes of your unwavering belief. But your focus must always remain within. The outer world is the reflection, the inner world is the source. When you master this understanding, you stop being ruled by time. You stop waiting, hoping, longing. You start being, having, living from the end. The most powerful creators in this world are those who refuse to let circumstances dictate their alignment. They hold the state of fulfillment regardless of what their senses tell them. They persist in assumption, they nurture their inner world, they ignore temporary obstacles, and in doing so they accelerate the delivery of their desires. The world has no choice. It is bound to obey the inner command. You must realize that every second spent in alignment brings your desire closer in form. Every moment you dwell in the state of already having collapses the distance between the unseen and the seen. Your job is not to control the mechanics of manifestation, but to control your inner world. You must choose the state of fulfillment again and again until it becomes your natural dwelling place. The delivery of your desire is not random. It is the precise, inevitable outcome of inner alignment. Time does not delay, it obeys. The moment you shift within, reality begins to organize itself to reflect that shift. You may not see the entire picture immediately, but the process is set in motion, unstoppable, irreversible, bound by the law of consciousness. So you must stop measuring your progress by clocks and calendars. You must measure it by alignment. Ask yourself, not how long will it take, but am I aligned right now? That is the only question that matters. The more consistently you answer it, with presence, with belief, with assumption, the faster the outer world bends to your command. You do not need to beg, to force, to manipulate circumstances. You need only to align, to dwell in the state of your wish fulfilled, to assume the presence of your desire so completely that the absence feels foreign to you. When you live in that state, the universe must deliver. It has no choice. It reflects your alignment with perfect precision. You are not at the mercy of time. You are the master of your reality through alignment. And when you hold that alignment, unwavering and bold, you will witness how quickly the world organizes itself to deliver everything you desire. Imagination is the most powerful, most sacred, and most overlooked force you possess. It is not some idle fantasy, not a playground of fleeting thoughts disconnected from reality. It is the very foundation upon which your world is built. Everything you see around you, every structure, every relationship, every circumstance, began first in the unseen, in someone's imagination. The invisible always precedes the visible. You are not living in a world of accidents. You are living in a world of creation, and the tool of creation is imagination. Whether you realize it or not, you are using it every moment of every day. The question is not whether you imagine, but whether you do so consciously or unconsciously. The masses wander through life unaware of this truth. They believe their circumstances arrive by chance, that their environment shapes them, that life happens to them. But the ones who understand, the few who awaken to their true power, know that life unfolds from within. The outer world is the delayed reflection of the imaginal acts you have accepted as real. Your imagination is not separate from creation. It is creation. The universe responds to the assumptions, the images, the feelings you cultivate within your inner world. That is the true cause. The outer effects are simply the obedient response to the seed you planted in the unseen. Most people unknowingly misuse their imagination. They replay fears, doubts, worst-case scenarios. They imagine rejection, loss, failure, and then, with complete obedience, life mirrors those inner images back to them. And yet they claim to be victims of circumstance, never realizing they authored the script themselves in the theater of their minds. You see, imagination is always active. The world is always responding. Your only choice is to use it, consciously, deliberately, with unwavering intent. You must understand, when you vividly imagine a scene and you saturate it with emotion, your subconscious accepts it as reality. It does not distinguish between what is imagined and what is observed with the senses. The subconscious is the gateway through which the universe receives your instructions. And once impressed with a clear, consistent, imaginal act, reality begins to reorganize itself to make that vision tangible. This is why disciplined imagination is the foundation of manifestation. You cannot merely wish or hope passively. You must dwell repeatedly in the scene of your fulfilled desire. You must live within your imagination as the version of yourself who already possesses what you seek. It is through this living, breathing act of inner creation that you command the outer world to follow. Imagination is not limited by time, space, or logic. Within it, all things are possible, and the moment you dwell there with conviction, you step beyond the limitations of the physical world. You collapse the barriers that your senses insist exist. You declare to the universe, through feeling and assumption, that the desire is already yours, and the universe, in perfect obedience, begins the process of manifestation. But most people sabotage themselves because they are loyal to their senses. They look at the current state of their lives and conclude that what they see is all there is. They imagine for a moment, then glance back at the world, searching for signs, and when none appear instantly, they abandon the vision. In doing so, they disrupt the process. They plant the seed, then uproot it with doubt. True mastery lies in persisting within the imaginal act, regardless of appearances. You must hold the vision so firmly, so consistently, that it becomes more real to you than the outer world. You must prioritize the unseen over the seen, the inner over the outer, knowing that what you cultivate in imagination today becomes your lived reality tomorrow. When you imagine vividly, you shift your state of being. You are no longer the one desiring, you are the one having. You are no longer separate from your desire, you are united with it. That shift is the signal the universe responds to. It does not respond to empty longing, it responds to the conviction of your inner world. When you live within the assumption of possession, your imagination transforms from idle thought to creative power. You must also understand that imagination is not confined to quiet moments of meditation or daydreaming. It operates continuously, shaping your world even when you are unaware of it. Your self-concept, your beliefs, your expectations, all are the product of past imaginal acts, rehearsed so often they became your identity. If you desire to change your life, you must first change this internal script. This is why self-image is so crucial. The world cannot deliver experiences inconsistent with who you believe yourself to be. If you hold a vision of lack, unworthiness, or limitation within, the universe mirrors that belief relentlessly. But when you use your imagination to revise your self-image, to elevate your concept of self to one deserving of love, abundance, and success, the world cannot resist reflecting that transformation. The most beautiful truth is that you hold this power now. You do not need resources, connections, or favorable circumstances to begin. You need only your imagination and your willingness to believe. Within you resides the ability to create new realities, to rewrite the past, to construct the future, and to dissolve limitations imposed by logic or experience. You are not a passive observer of life. You are the architect, the author, the creator. The moment you claim this power, the moment you engage your imagination with discipline and belief, everything begins to change. The universe does not delay when your inner world aligns with your desires. The delivery of your manifestations accelerates because you have issued a clear, unwavering instruction through your imaginal acts. Imagination is not a game. It is the sacred mechanism through which the unseen becomes seen. When you understand this, you no longer doubt, no longer wait, no longer live as a victim of chance. You live as the creator of your reality, knowing that what you vividly, consistently, and emotionally accept in imagination must express itself in the world of form. The universe cannot defy your inner world when you master this truth. And through disciplined imagination, it will deliver everything you desire. There are moments in life when it feels as though everything you've experienced, all the highs and lows, the triumphs and struggles, have come together in a way that reveals something much bigger than you could have ever imagined. At times, we may look at our journey and wonder why certain events unfolded as they did, or question the purpose behind the challenges we faced. But what we often fail to realize is that every single step, every twist and turn was leading us towards something significant, something extraordinary that would reveal itself at just the right moment. The seemingly disconnected pieces of your life, the moments that felt uncertain or painful, are all part of a greater design that is now coming into focus. These experiences shape and refine us, preparing us to receive a blessing we never could have predicted. When everything you've been through aligns in the perfect way, it is as if the universe, or life itself, orchestrates a moment of convergence that is far more fulfilling than anything you could have planned or envisioned. This is the moment when the unexpected arrives, not as a random act, but as a perfectly timed gift, born from everything you've gone through, everything you've learned, and everything you've believed. It's a testament to how the journey itself, often full of uncertainty, was leading you to this point where the blessing shows up, perfectly timed and perfectly tailored to you. It's as if the pieces of your life which you thought were scattered or even broken come together to form something whole, something beautiful. And in that moment you see clearly that everything you've endured has had a purpose all along. The most profound gifts in life often come when we least expect them, catching us by surprise and leaving us in awe. These blessings arrive in ways that our logical minds could never have predicted, transcending the expectations we've set for ourselves or the plans we've made. We spend so much of our time trying to control outcomes, believing that if we follow a certain path, we will receive exactly what we want. But the truth is, the best things in life rarely follow a neat, predictable course. They appear when we are least anticipating them, in ways that challenge our understanding of how the world works. These unexpected blessings are the universe's way of showing us that there is always something greater than our limited perceptions. They remind us that life's most beautiful moments don't come from careful planning, but from the serendipitous alignment of circumstances, where the pieces of our lives fall into place in ways we never could have imagined. The key to receiving these gifts is to remain open, to trust that even when things seem uncertain or out of control, something wonderful is being prepared for us. Often when we let go of the need to understand or predict the how and when, that's when the blessings arrive, arriving not as we thought they would, but as exactly what we need. Even in the face of obstacles, you continue to move forward with faith, knowing deep down that your efforts are not in vain. It's easy to become disheartened when the road gets tough, when the results aren't immediate, or when the journey feels longer than expected. But true faith is not just about believing when things are going well, it's about holding on to that belief, even when the circumstances suggest otherwise. Faith is the quiet knowing that despite the challenges, something greater is at work behind the scenes, aligning everything for your highest good. As you persevere, trusting in this unseen force, you begin to understand that the struggles are not signs of failure, but rather steps on the path to something even more beautiful than you had imagined. Every effort, no matter how small, is contributing to the manifestation of your desires. Sometimes it's not until much later that you realize how everything you've gone through, every moment of persistence, every decision to keep moving forward, has been shaping the very outcome you've been hoping for. You may not see the results immediately, but you are planting seeds that will grow in their own time. The fruits of your labor often appear in unexpected ways, and it is in these moments that the true power of faith and perseverance reveals itself. Trust that the energy and time you've invested are not lost, they are building a foundation that will bear fruit in ways that go beyond your logical understanding. The key is to continue moving forward, trusting that the universe is supporting you, and knowing that what's meant for you will come at the right time. The blessings that are now on their way to you are not just random occurrences, they are the direct result of what you have imagined and believed in your heart. The power of imagination is one of the greatest tools you have at your disposal. When you allow yourself to envision a life filled with abundance, love, peace, or success, you are planting seeds that will eventually grow into tangible experiences. It may seem impossible at times, especially when your reality doesn't align with your dreams, but imagination is not bound by the limitations of the present moment. It creates a space where anything is possible, a space where your desires take shape before your very eyes. Even if the blessings seem unimaginable, It is the consistent belief in your heart that holds the key. When you truly believe in what you are imagining without doubting, without questioning, the universe has no choice but to respond to that inner conviction. What once seemed impossible begins to materialize in ways that you may not have expected. The power of imagination is the bridge between your current reality and the future you desire. It's not just about wishing for things to happen, but about seeing them clearly in your mind, feeling them in your heart, and knowing that they are on their way to you. Every time you hold a vision of what could be, you are shaping your reality. The blessings you are about to receive are the direct result of your ability to see beyond what is and to believe in the unseen potential of what can be. What you've imagined in your heart is now beginning to take form, proving that nothing is too unimaginable when you trust the power of your own mind. The energy and thoughts you send out into the world are never wasted. Every positive intention, every act of kindness, every moment of belief and optimism is like a seed planted in the fertile soil of the universe. Though you may not see the immediate results, trust that the energy you put out will return to you, often in ways that exceed your expectations. There is a natural law of the universe that ensures that what you give, you will receive. This isn't always something that manifests right away, but the seeds you've sown are growing, even when they are invisible to you. It's easy to lose faith when the outcomes aren't immediate, but the process is unfolding in its own time, and what you have put out is making its way back to you. Think of it like planting a garden. You don't see the fruit of your labor right after planting the seed, but with time, nurturing, and patience, the results will appear. The kindness you show others, the positive thoughts you have about your future, the belief in your dreams, they are all contributing to the good that is coming your way. Every positive action, no matter how small, is part of a larger flow of energy that is working in your favor. Know that your efforts are never in vain, and the positive vibrations you've sent into the world will come back to you, often in unexpected and beautiful ways. Keep nurturing those seeds, and soon enough the results will begin to bloom. Blessings have a way of arriving exactly when they are meant to, not according to your own timing or plans, but in a way that meets your needs in the most perfect way. It can be difficult to trust in this divine timing, especially when you feel like you've been waiting for something for so long, or when things don't seem to unfold as quickly as you hope. But there is a deeper wisdom at work, one that knows exactly what you need and when you need it. The universe, or whatever higher power you believe in, sees the bigger picture, the one you may not be able to see from your current vantage point. What you might perceive as delays or setbacks are often simply moments of preparation, where everything is being lined up for you in the most beautiful and impactful way. Blessings may not arrive on the timeline you've set, but they always show up at the right time, perfectly suited to your life and your growth. It is often when you least expect it that they come, with perfect timing that reveals the full beauty and purpose of the wait. Your journey, your growth, and even your struggles are all part of preparing you to receive what's meant for you. The right timing allows you to fully appreciate the blessings that are meant to change your life, as it places them in your path when you are ready to receive them. So instead of worrying about when they will arrive, trust that your blessings are arriving exactly as they should, meeting your needs in a way that will surprise and inspire you. Your unwavering belief is the driving force behind the manifestation of the blessings that are on their way to you. It's not just about hoping for something or wishing it into existence. It's about truly knowing deep within that what you desire is already on its way. The work you've done on the inside, the persistence you've shown even when the path seemed unclear, and your belief in the unseen forces that guide and support you are all creating the conditions for your dreams to unfold. Every time you persist despite doubts, every moment you continue to believe, even when the world around you suggests otherwise, you are strengthening the foundation for your blessings to materialize. Your belief isn't just a passive feeling, it's a powerful force that shapes your reality. The universe responds to the energy you put out, and when you have unwavering belief, it aligns everything in your favor. What you can't see yet is already in motion, because your inner work, your thoughts, emotions, and intentions has set things into motion in the unseen realms. It's like planting a seed and trusting that with time and care it will grow. Even though you might not see the plant sprouting immediately, the roots are growing deeper with every moment of belief. This is the power of unwavering belief. It's not about seeing the results right away, but about knowing without doubt that they are coming. The unseen forces that support you are working tirelessly, and your consistent belief is fueling the process, bringing your dreams into the physical world. Keep trusting, keep believing, and know that your inner work is creating the perfect conditions for the blessings you seek. Life has a beautiful way of surprising us with blessings that come in forms we didn't expect. It's easy to become attached to a particular vision of how things should unfold, to fixate on a specific outcome or timing. However, the most profound blessings often arrive in ways we could never have predicted. They come not according to our plan, but in the exact way that aligns with what we truly need at that moment. Sometimes we resist what's unfamiliar or what doesn't fit the picture we've created in our minds. But when we remain open to receiving in unexpected ways, we allow ourselves to experience the full beauty of life's blessings. The universe has a way of delivering what's best for us, even if it looks different from what we thought we wanted. Being open to the unexpected means trusting that there is a greater plan at work, one that is guiding us toward exactly what we need, even when we can't see the full picture. These blessings, though they may not come as we envisioned, carry the seeds of growth, transformation, and fulfillment that we may not have recognized if they had appeared in a more familiar form. When we embrace the unexpected, we release our grip on control and allow ourselves to flow with life, trusting that what we receive will be the perfect fit for who we are and who we are becoming. In this openness, we find that what is meant for us always shows up at the right time, in the right way, more perfect and beautiful than we could have imagined. As you stand at the threshold of receiving blessings, remember that the universe is always working in your favor, even when you can't see the path ahead. Your unwavering belief, your persistence, and your openness to the unexpected are all the forces that align to bring what's meant for you. Trust that the timing is always right, even when it feels delayed, and know that the blessings you've imagined, worked for, and believed in are coming to fruition. They may not always appear as you expect, but they will always be exactly what you need. Keep your heart open, your mind steadfast, and your belief unwavering. The blessings that are on their way to you will be far greater than anything you could have planned, and in embracing them with gratitude and faith, you will unlock a life of abundance, peace, and fulfillment beyond your imagination. Stay rooted in your belief, trust in the unseen forces, and be ready to receive the miraculous gifts that are about to arrive. Your journey has prepared you for this moment, and now is the time to embrace the blessings that are already unfolding for you. When you begin to understand that your world is shaped by your thoughts, beliefs, and inner convictions, you begin to see everything differently. The experiences you've had, the challenges you've faced, and the desires you've carried in your heart have all been leading you to this very moment. The blessings that are about to arrive are not random. They are the result of everything you have imagined, everything you have believed, and everything you have worked toward, even if you did not fully realize it at the time. Your life, your circumstances, and your experiences are all reflections of your inner world, and it is from this inner world that the blessings you've longed for are beginning to take shape. There is a natural law, a universal truth, that operates in every part of your life. What you imagine and believe with unwavering certainty will manifest in your life. This is not a matter of chance or luck. It is a law of cause and effect, where your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are the causes that set into motion the effects you will eventually see in your world. When you truly understand this, you begin to see the power you have in shaping your own reality. It's not just about wishing for something or hoping that things will change. It's about deeply believing in the unseen, trusting in the process, and knowing with absolute certainty that what you desire is already on its way to you. You don't need to see it yet. You don't need to understand how it will unfold. All you need is faith in the invisible forces that are at work, shaping your world according to the patterns you have set with your thoughts and feelings. For many, the journey to receiving blessings is one of persistence, one of holding fast to the belief that what they want is coming, even when it seems far away or out of reach. This persistence is not about forcing things to happen, but rather about remaining steadfast in your belief. Even when the external world does not seem to reflect what you desire, you continue to trust in the process, knowing that what you believe in your heart will ultimately come to pass. This is the true nature of faith, believing in the unseen, trusting in what you cannot yet touch, hear, or see. And in that trust, you create the space for miracles to unfold. The blessings you are about to receive are not random, they are the culmination of your inner work, your persistence, and your unwavering belief in the unseen. Everything you have been through, every challenge you have faced, and every moment you have held on to your dreams, no matter how far away they may have seemed, has been part of the process of bringing you to this point. Every hardship you've endured has been a lesson. Every moment of doubt has been an invitation to strengthen your faith, and every time you've chosen to continue, despite the circumstances, has been a step closer to the manifestation of your desires. Your imagination is the creative force behind all that you experience. When you imagine something with enough clarity and emotional intensity, you are sending a powerful signal to the universe that you are ready to receive that thing. The imagination does not only paint pictures of the future, it is the very substance that shapes the future itself. Every dream you've had, every goal you've set, and every desire you've felt has been rooted in your imagination. The more you believe in those images, the more real they become in your world. And though the timing may not always align with your own expectations, trust that the universe always knows the perfect moment for those blessings to appear. It is essential to understand that the blessings you seek are not outside of you. They are not in someone else's hands, nor are they dependent on the circumstances you find yourself in today. They are already within you, waiting to be brought forth by the power of your belief. The moment you choose to believe that your desires are already yours is the moment the universe begins to respond. The power to create and manifest lies within you, and when you fully embrace this, you open yourself up to the infinite possibilities that are available to you. The external world is simply a reflection of what you hold within. When you change the way you see the world changes around you. The idea of reaping what you sow is a truth that runs through every aspect of life. What you put out into the world, whether consciously or unconsciously, is what you will receive in return. This is not just about actions, but about energy, thoughts, and feelings. When you put out positive thoughts and feelings, even when you cannot see the results immediately, you are planting seeds for future growth. Every kind word, every act of kindness, every moment of faith is an investment in your future blessings. And just as you do not see the seed grow the moment it's planted, so too will your blessings take time to materialize. But know that every positive thought, every action, every belief you hold is contributing to the manifestation of those blessings. The energy you send out into the world is returned to you, often in ways that surpass your expectations. At times you may feel that the fruits of your labor are delayed, that the blessings you've been waiting for are never coming. But know that the seeds you've planted are growing, even when you can't see them. Just as a gardener trusts that the seeds they've planted will eventually grow into beautiful plants, so too must you trust that the good you've sent into the world will return to you. The law of cause and effect is never wrong. What you put out will come back, though it may not appear in the way you expect. Sometimes blessings come in forms you cannot yet comprehend, but when they arrive, they will be exactly what you need. The power of unwavering belief cannot be underestimated. It is the very foundation upon which everything else is built. Your belief not only in the possibilities of your future, but in the power of the unseen forces that are always working on your behalf, is what brings your dreams into reality. When you believe in something, you not only create the internal conditions for it to manifest, but you also send out a powerful signal to the universe that you are ready to receive. And in response, the universe aligns everything in your favor. It is not just about wishful thinking or hoping for the best. It is about knowing that your desires are already on their way, trusting in the process and feeling gratitude as though those blessings have already arrived. This unwavering belief doesn't mean that challenges won't arise along the way. It doesn't mean that there won't be moments of doubt or uncertainty. But it does mean that you continue to move forward, despite those challenges, knowing that the blessings are coming. Every moment of persistence, every time you choose to keep going when it seems like nothing is happening, is part of the process. The universe works in mysterious ways, and often it is when you least expect it that the blessings you've been waiting for appear. They don't come on your timetable, but on the perfect timetable of the universe, one that knows exactly when you are ready to receive. The blessings you are about to receive are not just the result of your thoughts and actions, but of your openness to receive them. When you open yourself up to the possibility of receiving in ways you hadn't anticipated, you allow the universe to deliver those blessings in ways that are even greater than you could have imagined. The best things in life often come when you least expect them. And when you release the need to control how they come, you allow them to arrive in their most perfect form. In this openness, you will find that what you receive is exactly what you need, even if it wasn't what you had originally imagined. The blessings that arrive may not come in the way you thought they would, but they will always be what's best for you. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, knows what you need better than you do. When you trust this process and remain open to the unexpected, you allow the universe to work its magic in your life. The timing of the blessings is never random, and the way they come is always in perfect alignment with your needs and desires. Trust that everything is working out for your highest good, even when it seems unclear or uncertain. The universe has already set everything in motion, and the blessings are already on their way to you. Stay open, stay persistent, and keep believing in the unseen forces that are always working on your behalf. The blessings that you have longed for are not far away, they are already in the process of coming to you. Trust in the timing, trust in the process, and know that the universe is always bringing you exactly what you need in the most perfect way. Signs from the universe, how to recognize divine guidance. Life is not random. Every experience, every encounter, and every thought carries within it a deeper meaning. The universe is alive, pulsating with energy, and always communicating with us. But how often do we stop to listen? How often do we recognize the signs it sends our way? The truth is, the universe is constantly guiding us, aligning circumstances and speaking through subtle cues to direct us toward our greatest potential. Today we'll explore how to recognize these divine signs and embrace the guidance that's always available to us. The language of the universe. The universe speaks in a language that transcends words. It communicates through symbols, synchronicities, and feelings. Imagine this: you're thinking about an important decision, and suddenly a song on the radio plays lyrics that speak directly to your dilemma. Or you keep seeing the same number sequence: 1111, 333, or 777 again and again. These are not coincidences, they are whispers from the divine, guiding your steps. To recognize these signs, you must cultivate awareness. Most of us rush through life, distracted by the noise of our minds and the world around us. But the universe speaks in stillness. When you slow down and become present, you open the door to receiving its messages. Trust your intuition. One of the most powerful tools for recognizing divine guidance is your intuition. Intuition is the voice of the universe within you. It's that inner knowing that nudges you toward a decision, even when logic tells you otherwise. Have you ever felt a gut feeling about something, only to later realize it was absolutely correct? That was the universe speaking through your soul. But here's the key: you must trust it. Intuition doesn't shout, it whispers. The more you ignore it, the quieter it becomes. But when you honor it, even in small ways, it grows louder and more precise. Trust that your inner voice is connected to the infinite wisdom of the universe. Synchronicity is the universe's signature. Synchronicities are meaningful coincidences that defy logical explanation. They occur when the universe aligns events in your life to send you a message. Perhaps you're thinking about starting a new business, and you randomly meet someone who offers you the exact resources you need. Or you dream of a place you've never been, only to stumble across a picture of it the next day. These events are not random, they are signs. To notice synchronicities, pay attention to patterns. If something shows up repeatedly in your life, it's worth exploring. Ask yourself, what is the universe trying to tell me? What action am I being guided to take? Emotional guidance, the compass within. The universe also communicates through your emotions. Feelings of joy, excitement, and peace are indicators that you are aligned with your purpose. On the other hand, feelings of frustration, anxiety, or unease often mean you're resisting the flow. Imagine a river. When you're aligned with the universe, life feels like you're flowing effortlessly downstream. But when you resist, it's like paddling against the current. Listen to your emotions, they are a compass guiding you toward your highest good. Dreams, messages from beyond. Dreams are another way the universe speaks to us. When your conscious mind rests, your subconscious becomes a bridge to the infinite. Pay attention to recurring dreams or symbols that evoke strong emotions. They often carry profound messages. Keep a journal by your bed and write down your dreams as soon as you wake up. Over time, patterns may emerge, revealing insights and guidance you may not have noticed otherwise. The power of asking. Sometimes recognizing signs from the universe is as simple as asking for them. Speak your desires clearly, either aloud or in your heart, and then trust that the universe will respond. The key is to remain open. Signs often come in unexpected ways, so release any preconceived notions about how they should appear. Ask with conviction if this is the right path for me. Show me a clear sign then. Watch for a response. It could be a conversation, an opportunity, or even a subtle feeling of certainty. Gratitude, the gateway to more signs. Gratitude is a powerful amplifier of divine guidance. When you acknowledge the signs you receive, you signal to the universe that you are listening. This creates a cycle of communication that grows stronger over time. Every time you notice a sign, take a moment to say thank you. Gratitude aligns your energy with abundance and opens the door for even more guidance. Acting on the signs. Recognizing signs is only the first step. The real transformation happens when you act on them. Guidance from the universe often requires faith, especially when it asks you to step outside your comfort zone. Trust that the signs are leading you towards something greater than you can imagine. Remember, the universe supports action. When you take a step forward, even a small one, the universe meets you halfway. It opens doors, removes obstacles, and creates opportunities that align with your highest purpose. Conclusion: living in harmony with the universe. The universe is not separate from you, it is within you, around you, and always for you. Its signs are constant reminders that you are never alone and that every step you take is guided by a higher power. To live a life of purpose and fulfillment, learn to recognize these signs, trust them, and act on them with faith. The more you listen, the clearer the guidance becomes. The more you trust, the more the universe reveals its infinite love and support. So open your heart, quiet your mind, and embrace the beautiful dance of life with the universe as your partner. You are not here by accident. Every moment, every sign is a divine invitation to step into the life you were meant to live. Trust the process, and know that the universe is always working in your favor.